So I'm slowing down in this particular incident because this is the incident that changed everything for me financially. Okay. And I'm slowing down on it to explain that as much as we want so much from life, when we get stretched, we either defer the dream and go back to default settings or we jump. In 3 months, so 12 weeks from when I paid, I made $70,000.
Wow. So 3 months from after the coach's class,
No,
or like
during.
No.
during the coach's class.
I started making money while with the coach in week 4. 2014 is the year I filed for bankruptcy. I had co-signed another ex-boyfriend's commercial lease.
Atiatia, tashokera.
Where?
Tell
Okay.
you, my downfall is the male species.
Hey. Where?
This is the One Mic Show. We live in a world where everyone seems to have a coach online, from fitness to mindset coaches to lifestyle and even sex coaches. Few of these coaches, however, leave the journey they're constantly selling. But one exception to that is our guest tonight, Miss Jane Mukami. Now, Jane is a Harvard-certified award-winning weight loss coach and an international best-selling author. She's the creator of the Push Weight Loss Method and passionate about helping women become unstoppable. She's been coaching how to turbocharge business ideas through social media. All this, however, never came easy. She went through miserable periods of heartbreak, personal loss, and rapid weight gain. But despite all the setbacks, she managed to reclaim her confidence, turning her struggle into a thriving global brand. Now that was only the beginning. If that was only the beginning, Jane Mukami went from fitness to teaching thousands how to turn their knowledge into income with no overhead, no investors, and no excuses. One of the students, Miss Tabitha Njeri, said, I went into her class clueless and came out a career coach. Within a year, I was earning 6 figures. Now, recently, when everything seemed to be going perfect, Jane Mukami woke up to over 1.6 million Kenyan shillings wiped out from a Kenyan bank account overnight. She'll later tell us what came out of that experience. Today, she calls herself officially retired at the age of 46, financially free, mentally strong, and living life entirely on her own terms. So the big question tonight is, how did Jane Mukami crack the code of transforming pain into power, fitness into fortune, and business success into freedom? What lessons can everyday aspirants watching tonight learn and apply from her journey about body, business, and mindset? Now, to help us unpack all this tonight, from weight loss to wealth creation, and from financial scams to early retirement, ladies and gents, please drop your favorite emoji in the comment section and join me in welcoming the fearless, the disciplined, and the no-nonsense coach herself, Miss Jane Mukami. Jane, karibu sana to the One Mic Show. It's been more than 2 years and 30 minutes in waiting. How do you feel finally being here?
Wow.
How does it feel finally being here?
Oh, it feels amazing. I'm so happy that you kept track of that, ticker. It's been 2 years.
And
How
30
many
minutes.
days?
And 30 minutes.
From what you were told was like 4 years, but you are not counting Omosh.
Yeah.
Maybe they started 2 years ago. Then now the 30 minutes was Upper kwa show.
But it was 4 years, and then we were notified 2
2
years after
later.
the 4 years.
Yes.
And then,
that's why I asked we have a 4 year and 30 minutes.
30
count,
minutes.
And his is 2
Yeah.
years.
He's 2 years.
That's what.
How?
Yeah, it's 2 years. So great to have you, Jane, here. Now, before we get started, there's one exclusive event you have in October. I want us to pitch it at the beginning before we get started. What's happening this October? Is it this October or is it next year October? Because you have a very packed calendar.
Well, it's this October, and I'm not pitching, Ali. I don't pitch, okay? I simply share what I'm doing, and if anyone is compelled to join, to be a part of, then they're invited to come in.
Okay.
So if you want us to get started there, then I am hosting let me call it a virtual session, of course. It's going to be a workshop, and this workshop is for coaches. You could be a coach in any industry, finance, relationships, real estate. It doesn't matter what industry you're coaching in, but if you're interested in cracking the code when it comes to social media, just as I have, then this workshop is for you to attend. And I'll be making it very interactive. We'll actually be doing work. That's why it's not a masterclass, it's a workshop. But my goal is to help a lot of coaches realize that there's a lot of magic and a lot of money moving around because of social media, but only those of you who understand how to make it work will get to where, for example, I've gotten. That's what I'm doing. And for you to be a part of this, you have to join the wait list. Find me on IG, Facebook. You'll find posts about it. Join the wait list, and the information will be shared with you later next week.
Okay, so for those who want to be on the wait list, you can just start right now by typing the word wait list in the comment section. So the details are not out, but if you type wait list, you're gonna get the details beforehand. Whether you're on Facebook, on YouTube, or wherever you're tuned in from, type waitlist in the comments and you will be part of this exclusive event, limited slots. So you'll be among the first ones to be notified and to join. Now, again, before we get started again, I want us to lay the ground. And looking back at everything you've been through, Jane, from your personal transformation to what's now financial independence, officially retired at the age of 46, where would you say your transformation truly began? At what point would you say this was actually my turning point, Jane Mukami?
Wow. I think turning points are many, but to keep it very narrow on what you're talking about, the business, financial freedom, I would say the thing or the domino that first fell for everything to come in place was divorce. That was the first domino, because had I not gotten divorced, would I have gone into fitness? I was getting into fitness and trying to lose weight as a result of feeling not good about myself, having lost a lot of confidence. I was using weight loss as a tool to try and climb out the hole of, Woishe, I'm divorced, I'm only 28, So, as much as it might not be conventional to say something like, you know what, that divorce kind of changed the trajectory of my life for the better, in all honesty, that's how I feel. Because let's speculate for a moment. What if I never got divorced? What if I ended up gaining more love weight, popped a few babies? I'm still married. I'm still working a corporate job. I have a husband. What would my life look like?
Happily ever after.
I don't know.
You'd be making chapos and inviting us.
Yeah, I cannot even, my brain cannot even fathom what that life would look like, right? So it had to be the domino of, I'm being physically abused, I need to leave, I've left, oh crap, I'm eating my feelings, I've gained weight, I need to do something because yenyewe, no one's gonna want me looking like this. I need to do something.
Okay.
That was the beginning, which back then I didn't understand was laying the foundation for what's become the last 17 years of my life.
So the last 17 years, so you're talking about 2009, 2008, 2000, around that time.
I got divorced in 2008.
Wow. Okay. Wow. So you're only 46, divorced in 2000. Oh my goodness.
How long are you married?
Ali, you are not supposed to reveal the age. Where ni mtu wapi?
No,
Yeah,
Jane,
we know, but sasa anyway, go on.
Jane has always revealed her age, so this is public information. It's not classified. It's
Omere,
not
it's a
anything.
woman thing, Buana. Just move on, Buana.
Yeah, and DJ Moshfire, as we get started today, maybe talk to the audience too. What are your expectations tonight? There's always a question because Jane has gone beyond, weight loss and transformation to now advising, entrepreneurs on how to turbocharge the businesses using social media. There's a question of, especially for people who are thinking of, am I going to make that move from career into entrepreneurship? There's always a lot of fear, and there's always a question of, I have no money, hakuna mbesha, someone needs $100,000 to start this idea, or $50,000, as you talk to the audience, what exactly do you expect, especially in that realm of where most of us think that we need a lot of money to get started?
Jane, welcome to the show. Karibu. Thanks for making time out of your busy schedule to come on to the show. So for me, my expectations are that by the time we leave this place, Ali will have a formula of how yani this show itakuwa kule
Yes.
Breakfast Club. Kwa
Kabisa.
sababu now na social media
Yeah.
to join.
Yes.
That's one.
Uh-huh.
Then two, zile do zilipotea kwa bank. Atuambie vile sisi pia sisi zile do tumepoteza Kenya tunaweza pata.
Ama tuambie pia how we can have such money in the bank account so that we can one day talk about it getting lost.
That is 3.
That's three.
That's 3.
That's
Yeah.
three.
Because si watu wengi wako na 13k sitting in a Kenyan bank account.
1 nini?
1.6 million.
Kwanza na alijitoa na akasema
Yeah.
Jen, see me after the show.
Forget about an American bank account. That was
Yes.
sitting in a Kenyan bank account. So you can only imagine.
So si sasa si mi unajua you and I all we need to do is get our airfare to
Yeah.
Kenya. Tukiland hivi
Yeah.
direct to Jen's account.
Okay.
Atambia ule mse.
Okay.
She'll just say I have 2 chaps in the lobby.
Aya, sawa. That's DJ Omoshfire. You know, like karibu sana. Number to call is 202-683-4570 *5 to speak. I don't know that Mika is already tuned in.
Is inside.
Yeah, so Mika, you know, like we're going to go to Mika. Now, Mika, the other thing that we're going to be talking about also tonight is a bit of weight loss, you know, like transformation, you know, like your testament to transformation. You also moved from 0 to 100 within a very short period of time.
Nutrition.
But then, Mika, there's these images that people get before, after, overnight transformations, you know, that people have. So people sometimes expect results quickly. What is your expectation tonight, Mika, of what you want to hear from Jane Mukami about transformation, you yourself having gone through that? Mika.
Thank you, Ali, and thank you, Jane, for coming and gracing us with your presence. So for me, my expectations actually today, I would like her to when it comes to weight loss, it's usually more of when you hear the testament of somebody who most people see, but most people don't. Most people see and want, but most.
Okay, I think we lost.
Did we lose him?
I think we lost Mika. We're gonna get back to him now.
I think he was going to say
Yes.
and they don't want to do the hard work. Maybe that's what he was going to say, but
Yes. Now, before we get back to Mika, you know, like let's go back to Uno Mike, or
One
maybe
issue with weight loss
or,
that even
we
I
have Mika
felt.
back. Yeah. Go ahead, Mika.
No, I'm saying the one issue of weight loss that even I felt myself was that shida kubwa ni kusikia. Watu wapendi kusikia. People like believing what they believe. And then another thing that I would like as a takeaway from this show is I want to repeat what Omosh said. I want Ali to understand the importance of scaling so that tukimsumbua huku kwa nyuma ya tent ajue tunatoka where we're coming from. Back to you in the studio.
All right, asante sana, Mika Och. So Mika wants to know about scaling. Again, the number to call is 202-683-4570. Press *5 to speak. Jane Mukami in the studio. Then there's also, you know, like Uno Mike briefly, the Cambodia, you know, like Salimia Watu. There's a question about working out versus nutrition. And, you know, like Jane Mukami also moved from being, you know, like fitness into more nutrition work. So that's been a debate out there. Do you need to work out, or can this just work with nutrition? What's your expectation tonight, Uno Mike?
No, expectation again is, I think, to get more clarity and more definition and precise what works best, because I think to each and everyone has got their own everyone has got their own, for lack of a better word, I'm going to say niche. Everyone can find something that can comfortably work for them. But it's always a combination. I think I remember the last time we had the interview with the doctor from San Francisco. But I think Mika said that it's a balance. It's always good. It's always absolutely important to have a balance, nutrition and exercise. But I think the nutrition part needs to be a bit more. You find your own path, but incorporate exercise.
Okay.
So,
All right.
So basically, no ugali. That's what he's saying.
Well, she'll tell us.
Okay.
All right. The number
Atatuambia.
yes, the number to call is 202-683-4570. Press star 5 to speak. We already have a wait list from Stephen Batty from Texas. So we're going to send you.
Ashaanza kuandika vitu.
Yes, ashaingia kwa wait list huyo hapo. And then
okay.
Now Jane, you've publicly talked about two major breaking points in your life. Your divorce back in 2008 and the loss of your younger brother to suicide back in 2017. Very tragic. Many people never share such stories of tragedy in public, and many never bounce back. So before we go to know how you always bounce back from adversity, please share with us your thought process on why you're such an open book, and if there's a secret in it that helps in the bouncing back process that most people maybe don't know. Jane Mukami.
That's a tough question. I think the first question is, why am I an open book?
Yes.
And the second is how I deal with these situations. I think I'm an open book because I am as I am. I am very open about who I am, and I'm very expressive, very communicative. My friends will tell you I am a great communicator. I share my feelings. I express myself pretty well. And when things don't feel good within me, besides speaking to my therapist who I've had since my divorce, 17 years, besides talking to her, I try to find ways that make me feel better. And surprisingly, you'll be surprised to hear that when I started on social media, it was entirely documenting, oh, I'm at the gym. Oh, yeah, I've lost weight. Here's what I do. And then it moved into, I feel like sharing about something I'm going through, and I'm going to get judged. I don't know what's going to happen. But what happened from me starting to do that became extremely cathartic. Like, it started becoming therapeutic, where other than just sharing on social media that, oh my God, my brother just committed suicide, it became almost like a second very important layer of my own personal therapy. And then the second thing that came after that is realizing that people were understanding, connecting, appreciating that I was being an open book. Actually, when my brother passed in 2017, I remember crying and then starting to get to this place where I would feel the same way I felt when my parents divorced when I was 13. I had no one to talk to. I had nothing to do but suppress the feelings. And as a result, when I was 13, I was put on prescription medication for migraines. Only many years later did I realize through therapy that the migraines were a result of the internal struggles I was dealing with mentally that could not come out. So guess what? I would get this really bad headaches where I could not even go to school. I had to take medication. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Like I think at 13 we did not even know about migraines.
Trying to deal with that. Like
yes.
I'm in a boarding school, and all I knew was I'd get a headache that my left eye would go blind. I can't see.
Oh wow, that
Pressure.
is
Yeah, the pressure, yeah.
I mean, that is crazy. And this issue of going to boarding schools, I went to a boarding school myself, but in high school. But this idea that I hear some people go to boarding schools from, I don't know, standard 5,
Two.
yeah, that right there.
I lose standard 1 even.
Okay,
Standard
Amazing.
3 for me.
yes, Uno Mike, for you it was standard.
No,
3.
me was standard 5.
It was standard.
Well, I was
5.
in 6. My brother
Yeah.
was 5. My sister was standard 3.
Yeah, that's
Kerugoya.
Yes, that's something that needs to be talked about. So back to you, Jane, and you transformed from being what we essentially saw back in the days. First of all, even besides the point, the first time I saw Jane Mukami was on the
Why?
yeah. No, you know, like it's an interesting story. The first time I saw Jane
Taja.
Mukami,
Say it.
the first time I heard about Jane Mukami was on 10-minute fix. Do you guys even remember 10-minute fix?
Of course.
Yes, that was the first time
With a Kinadab and what is his name?
Leo
DJ.
Fire.
Leo Fire.
Yes.
Yes.
Roy Wangu. That's the
Yeah.
first time, you know, like I heard of Jane Mukami.
Bring back 10-minute fix.
Yes,
Mko wapi nyinyi?
and that 10-minute fix was actually ahead
Let's find Leo
of its
first.
time. That was the first time.
Leo Fire.
So
It actually was.
Yes. So
It's
from
way
back,
ahead of his time.
yeah, back then you were so into fitness, and you transformed from what was then essentially a fitness coach to what you now describe as a mentor of transformation, with a renewed focus on nutrition, where you say before fixing your body, you must first fix your mindset and then the body follows. Now, because most people associate good bodies with pounding iron in the gym, please guide those who are tuned in what exactly this means in layman terms, and maybe how this strategy can be more of benefit to them in the long run, because most people have never thought about mind when it comes to trying to figure out your body. Jane Mukami.
Well, this goes beyond fitness. This is life. And you've asked me the context of working out, going to the gym, lifting, running, cycling, whatever, moving your body, right? When I began my weight loss journey in 2008, I started doing the same thing. It was the first time I'd ever been in a gym. I was 28 years old. I went to the gym to lose weight. I knew what to wendanga gym to lose weight. That's all I knew, right? So it was 2 years, 2009, 2010, working out, sometimes working out twice a day.
Eish.
And I only lost 4 pounds. I remember thinking, what am I missing? Nini naendelea, what's going on? Right? And this is the same mentality a lot of people still have today. Yes, in those 2 years, I was doing every diet, losing a bit of weight, gaining it back. But it was 2010, which is 15 years ago, when I thought of, okay, nothing's working, I'll have lipo. Before I could go on and have the procedure done like 2 weeks away from the date, I met a friend and she was like, wait, don't do lipo. First, go to my coach and give him a chance. And that's what changed everything. Because what he taught me was, oh yeah, you've been exercising, cool. I'll still make you exercise, but the piece you've been missing is that you can exercise all damn day, you can run half marathons, but until you eat a certain way, you'll really never change your body. So by the time 10-minute fix was coming around, this was 2011. This is when they were making fun of me saying old school Jane was nice and round and plump. New school Jane has muscle. I started bodybuilding. This was when 10-minute fix started doing their YouTube channel. And it was 2011 when Leo and Fini and Alan started talking about me. It was one of the first programs. So anyway, what I got from that journey was I don't care how hard you work out. And that's what made me transition my business in 2018, saying, if you don't want to work out, you're my customer. Because I know it doesn't matter. You're still going to lose 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 pounds without exercise.
Not that there's anything wrong with being plump, Kiasi.
But
Carbs save lives.
But you know, the most compelling thing that you said is that you are considering lipo.
Lipo.
That was back in was that back in 2008, 2009?
2010.
Or that was 2010.
2010.
This was, I paid the deposit for my procedure.
Wow.
In March 2010.
You hadn't even paid a deposit.
That's
Yes, and
part
I
of the
lost
money that went in over there in the bank.
Oh, that one.
Keep up, keep
Okay.
up, keep up, keep up.
Sorry.
Okay. All right. I mean, that isn't so encouraging, because some people feel like that's the only option. That's the only way out they have. There's other options that people are looking into nowadays, like these drugs.
Or Zen.
like Ozempic,
Those
and
ones.
and we
Usiseme
still
atulipwi.
and we still don't fully know, like the side effects
No, we don't. We don't.
of the
Yeah,
drug, but
we
a lot
don't.
of people are using it. It's very popular. It's always being advertised, so that's quite encouraging, and especially the nutrition part. Now, talking about nutrition, there was some very controversial statements that were made by a doctor who came on the One Mic show a couple of weeks ago. A lot of people were pissed off. We always like getting these different perspectives, and she had a very extreme perspective.
Not pissed off. They
Yeah.
say they were very vocal.
Yes, they were very vocal, and she had this very extreme, like perspective of
Plant-based.
humans are not meant to eat any animal products.
Yani
Like-
alisema nyama choma ni mbaya, you are carcinogenic, na wewe utakufa. Na what else did she say?
No,
and,
nyama choma.
and you cannot eat eggs because for you.
Nyama
Ah,
choma.
wewe.
Nyama choma
She
was
did-
extreme. She called
she
nyama
said-
choma carcinogenic, and eggs. She said that a human should not be eating more than 2 eggs in a week.
So
Ali,
Yeah. So let's
Ali.
hear from Mika.
yeah. So, and there's something that Jane has said, and it might have passed a lot of people who haven't realized. She said something that she was working out, but she will only lose like 4 pounds, 2 pounds, and she would ask herself, "What is it I'm doing wrong?" And doing all these diets and everything, and what I'm doing wrong. And you remember when you guys asked me what I'm doing, and I told you is simple. I started counting my calories. Nikakwambia yes, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just started balancing my macros, counting my calories, eating on a deficit, and my workout was more of to balance with the nutrition part of it. And that is why when we had our doctor, kuna mtu alisema daktari alitoka TikTok, but I don't say hivyo, but kuna mtu alisema hivyo, it's that when I told her that extreme diets have one thing that makes them fail. You get tired of it. Your body feels restricted and it becomes rebellious. And then so when you utajipatia cheat day ya kwanza, utajipata baada ya cheat day kuna cheat weeks, then you have cheat months.
So basically,
And
you
you-
become a
and you go
cheater.
back to normal programming.
Oh,
Okay.
But
Okay.
if you balance your nutrition and you eat in a healthy way, you will find yourself eating less because there is nothing that you cut out of your diet. You just balance your nutrition to fit your goals.
Okay.
Ama coach nimedanganya.
Okay. Coach, react to what Mika just said.
No, he's got some valid points. It's not about extreme dieting. It's not about saying I'm doing keto, I'll never eat carbs. Siku moja utanguka ukule ugali, you won't stop eating ugali, right? It's not about saying, animal protein is carcinogenic. Carcinogenic comes from it being roasted or chomwad. Yes, the burning and all that. So if you say, yeah, I'm gonna go plant-based and not eat any meat, what about the day you're gonna miss meat? So anything that's extreme sets you up for failure, because if one day you feel deprived and you go back to it, you cannot come back. Yeah. So I'm of the same school of thought that there needs to be balance. You should be able, and what I teach my clients is, my thing is sugar. I love cake. I love donuts. I don't care for alcohol. I don't care for fried foods. But I enjoy having a good slice of cake. If you tell me not to eat cake, we'll fight. So I still enjoy cake in moderation, 1, 2, sometimes 3 times a month, depending on what phase of my journey I'm in. Everything in moderation, but for you to get there, there's work that has to be done first. Yeah, so everything in moderation for it to be a lifestyle, because really it's not about losing weight, it's about keeping the weight off. That's the litmus test for a good protocol.
Okay.
Anyone can lose weight. Fast for religious purposes, fanya Ramadan 30 days. You're going to lose weight. But then what happens after that?
I know. I have experience with that.
You eat like Ali and
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
and the cycle continues.
You
the
know,
next
it's
year.
interesting. Ramadan, I very easily lose 10 to 13 pounds religiously every year. And religiously, I gain it back before the next Ramadan.
And then
No,
some.
you gain 20.
Yeah, you know,
I
get,
know.
yeah,
I know because I work with a lot of women who go through Ramadan with me, and when they go through Ramadan with me, once they lose the weight, they never gain it back.
Okay, all right. So are you telling me? But now you only work with women. That's another.
Ali,
That's another
yeah.
issue that I think we'll need to talk about, but later on, not right now. On why you only choose to work with women when there are so many men.
Like Ali who
yeah.
go through Ramadan
And need
gain.
help.
Yes, and
after
gain.
that.
Yes.
And actually, here one of your students, Ed Ribu, is saying former Gen student. So clearly, you work with men. You
Allah.
know, we have a male student here. So
Edward worked with me. I certified him to become a coach.
oh damn. Okay.
So
All right.
he attended my certification program where I was teaching him how to coach clients. So of course he got to learn the method that I use with women, and he saw how effective it is, and it's helped him build his business.
Oh, nice.
So that's how I got to work with him. But I'm just going to put it out there. Not that I have anything against men, but when I did try working with men, it just was not joyful, for a politically correct term. Men are a little difficult. They don't listen. Mnafikiria mnajua kila kitu. You question everything I say. And then there are moments where you just come to class and stare at me and don't say anything. See, I told you I love communication. Siezi
But
fanya.
maybe the guy was liking what he was
but
saying, so
maybe-
he couldn't talk. I'm just
Or maybe
saying.
it's the guys you are working with. How?
Yeah.
Why are you painting us with a
It-
broad
it,
brush?
It could be like one mics. Maybe you are working
Maybe
with
you
one
work with a
mics.
couple of one mics.
Yeah, because what were Baltimore? Oh, sorry.
But is it
Clearly, you're the people she's talking about.
Ego.
Thank you.
Us guys were very nice people.
It was hard. It was hard. It became tough. But what worked for me is I don't have to work with everyone. Not all money is good money. I get to choose, right?
Oh,
And I
wow.
chose to stick with the women.
Okay, now that's what financial independence is. Not all money is good. When you're not financially independent, you will chase any kind of money that comes your way. You know, like and that's why, you know, like I think it's very important to be part of this coaching class. I don't know whether an exception can be made, you know, like for some of
for
us.
a loose Ali,
Yeah.
so that Ali becomes like Ed, and then Ali becomes Train the Trainer.
Yeah, but we'll figure that out. And here Wamahot is saying, I need to know how to get back my collarbone. So Wamahot, you know who you need to contact. And then Tabi saying,
What?
"Check,
Collarbone.
that's me." He says, I can attest to that. Even trying to get your significant other, they don't want to listen. So yeah, so I
To
think
get your significant other, what do you mean?
Like when
Tabi,
you're working out, like with your or with your significant other, or just having conversations. I think that's basically in general. Like us guys as
I think
our
she's
way are
saying,
hard.
Yeah.
even if, like, I'm assuming she's a girl,
Yes.
a woman.
Mhm.
If she's working with me and I'm teaching her how to eat, if she's talking to her husband saying, "Hey, Jane is teaching me how to eat to kuleivi," the man, there's resistance. Right.
Okay.
Mnaona vile mmejaribu kumansplain. Hiyo ndo kitu anasema. That's what she's talking about. All that mansplaining you are doing, that's what she's talking about.
Okay. Aya.
we Mika tangulini
Acha kujaribu kuget pointers hapa.
ndani ya nini box ya kuwa ile side ya females, we uko huku, what are you
No,
talking?
ni ukweli tu. Saa zingine like scale back, skia.
Okay,
Scale back.
Okay,
Listen.
so we listen more than we talk.
All right.
Okay.
I want to
And-
welcome, I want to welcome Stephen JJ from Texas tuned in. EVE Karanja from Long Beach, California. Karibu sana EVE. Anasema, what mindset shift changed everything for you? I think we already talked about that. And Tabi Tab, he's saying kuskiza mambo ya diet So Tabi Tabi is agreeing with Jen Mukami. And I want to remind the listeners that you're all tuned into the One Mic Show, and I'm your host and producer, Ali Badawi. We are talking to Jen Mukami, the Harvard-certified award-winning weight loss coach and international best-selling author. She's just walked us through, like a powerful transformation from heartbreak and weight gain to rebuilding confidence and helping thousands of women around the world reclaim their health. But Jen's story doesn't stop at weight loss. She knows what it means to start from zero. In just 7 years, she went from rock bottom to financially free and retired, all by leveraging social media to building thriving online coaching businesses. And this October, she'll be hosting an exclusive event where she'll share exactly how she did it, the systems, the mindset, the strategy behind going from zero to retired. So stay tuned for details on that. And if you want to be first on the list when the doors open, drop the word waitlist in the comments. Please drop the word waitlist in the comment. I know Steve Batty has already dropped it, so drop the word waitlist. We're going to be keeping a tab. We'll hand over all these names to Jen Mukami. We want you to drop the word waitlist in the comments right now to secure your spot before the details go live, because you always know Jen Mukami's, like sessions always have limited spots. It's not for everyone. She only chases good money, and will shortly shift gears from personal transformation to entrepreneurship. How Jen turned her passion into profits and taught others to do the same. Our lines are open. The number is 202-683-4570. Press star 5 to speak. This is the only opportunity to talk to Jen Mukami. You guys need to understand that Jen Mukami is a big deal, and you cannot she's not like Ali. Unajua vile Ali text,
and then he responds
at 11:57 p.m. and then
he responds at 11:58.
And then So Jen Mukami doesn't operate like that. She's now retired. She's only chasing good money. She's also very busy despite being retired.
The money is chasing her.
Oh, the money is chasing her.
Yes.
Yeah. So now we want to go back to you. We already have a caller?
No.
Yeah.
Ivy Karanja's question over here.
So Ivy Karanja's question was, what mindset changed everything for you? I think Jen Mukami already addressed that at the beginning. Yeah. So, but want to come back to you.
What mindset changed everything?
Yes.
What mindset shift changed everything?
What
for
mindset
you?
shift changed everything for you?
But I think there needs to be more clarity on the question.
So if you type that question, give it some more meat.
Yeah, more meat,
or more plants. More plants, and then more
balance.
More balance, more of a balanced diet, and then
before we are told you're mansplaining.
Jen, it's okay, just forgive them. They are both mans. They're explaining.
But anyway, moving on, Jen. In the US, we live in a world where there's generally a high dependency on formal employment in the corporate field, where most of us are. Entrepreneurship is highly valued, but there's a perception of high barriers to entry, both financially and even hands-on experience. But in a testimony I mentioned earlier in the introduction of this episode, one of our avid fans, Ms. Tabitha Njeri, said that after attending one of your classes, she came out not only as a career coach, but earning 6 figures from the hustle. So Jen Mukami, please give us the brief process by which you transform just a regular day-to-day employee into a seasoned hardcore entrepreneur in a short period of time in a world where many in their 40s and over feel stuck in employment. Jen Mukami.
So we all, most of us will go through the same path. We come to the US, we get a corporate gig. I was there. I was in tech for 18 years. I went to college to get there, of course. And not everyone is meant to be an entrepreneur. Let me start by saying that. Entrepreneurship is for those people who start to feel the itch. You start to get restless. You start to wonder, okay, I'm 40 something and retirement is 65 and I just can't see myself doing this for another 20 something years. Yeah. So I think let's be clear from jump that not everyone is supposed to be an entrepreneur, and not make anyone feel as though they're losers or not doing what they should be doing, right? So as was my case, I did not wake up and say, I'm gonna be an entrepreneur. No, I started losing weight. I started getting excited. I started realizing that people were coming to me for help and I was giving them a solution. And I did not want to own that, oh yeah, I'm going to be a personal trainer, which I was when I started, because most of us working a 9 to 5, we have a home, we have a roof over our heads, we have food, our basic needs are covered, we're comfortable. So it takes something more to make you want to be an entrepreneur. So as the case of Tabitha, who you know, Tabitha came into one of the sessions I'm hosting in October, which I only host once a year. And she was interested in being a coach. She didn't even know what type of coach she wanted to be. This is maybe 4 years ago. And she came into my program and I helped her identify what type of coach she wanted to be. But not only that, teaching her about here's what you need to do on social media to accomplish that, and holding her hand through the process, getting her to launch and starting to get clients and starting to build the business. And in a very short time, she was making 6 figures from her coaching business, which was a side hustle from her 9 to 5. Can anyone accomplish this? Yes. I didn't believe I could do it too because remember, I was working in corporate and I'm a risk taker. Unlike most of you who are smart people, I would say use your corporate job to build your side hustle. Don't just abandon ship. I would abandon the ship because I'd save up money and say, okay, I've saved up this amount of money. I don't have to make money for 8 months. I'll just focus on building the business and I want all my attention focused on this. That's what I did in 2018. But in 2018, I lost all the money I'd saved. Long story. Okay.
Allah.
I think that's
How?
that bank. Those guys, they gongad her again.
Oh,
Again.
Yes.
or that was before the bank.
No, this same bank.
Oh,
Oh no,
this
sorry.
is 2018. This is
Okay.
2018.
Okay.
Okay.
It's a long story, but 2018, I quit my corporate career here in Atlanta and I was all set to build my business now the right way. So I'd saved enough to kind of give me that my bills are paid for 8 months. I can just focus on building the business. But I had a ex-boyfriend who needed money. Need I say?
Ah. Oh, this one, yeah, we love this story. Now that you brought it up,
Now you see why.
No. We're
you
not
see why
going there.
you
We're
guys.
just going to
You
keep
see why
moving.
you guys can't be trained.
yeah, okay,
You can't.
okay, yeah,
So anyway,
yeah.
when I lent him the money and the money did not come back when it should have, now I was in this quagmire of, okay, now I'm broke again. Do I get another job to save more to finally build the business? And I need us to pause here because everybody wants that six-pack body. Everybody wants the money. Everybody wants the house, the cars, the vacations, the trips. But when we're in the moments that are going to define us, what I call the struggle, we always fall back to the easiest thing. And in my case, when I was sitting there thinking, okay, I have two choices. I can get another tech job tomorrow, but that means I have to put my dream of building a business on hold. Which one do I want more? Do I want the easy way out, or do I need to be stretched and figure this shit out? And I chose to, you know what? I'm going to figure it out. And the way I had to figure it out came through me meeting a coach that was promising to help me accomplish what I needed. But I only had $100 in my bank account.
Wow.
So I
Okay.
remember telling him when I was talking to him on the phone, I'm like, why had I not met you 6 weeks ago? Because I had money in the bank. And he says, well, can you at least put a deposit down while you figure out the rest? And I told him, I'm broke. I have $500 and my rent is due in 10 days.
Wow. This is, yeah.
And I said to him, I'm going to put down a deposit of $250. And I needed to pay him $12,000.
Ah,
Eh? Ateke.
ati.
Needed to pay $12,000 for 8 weeks of coaching.
Does,
Wow.
does that coaching come with a job or a
I
business?
paid him $250 and I got off the phone and I literally cried my eyes out. I'm like, I don't know how I'm paying my rent. I have $250 in my bank account. I need this coach in my life and I don't know what I'm going to do.
Was this coach recommended, or this was somebody, the path you wanted to go?
This is a coach that had popped up on my Facebook and that I'd watched for about 8 months.
Okay.
And I remember thinking, and I'd attended his master, and I remember thinking, when I'm ready, I'm gonna go to him.
Wow. You know,
Okay.
yes.
So I'm slowing down in this particular incident because this is the incident that changed everything for me financially. Okay. And I'm slowing down on it to explain that as much as we want so much from life, when we get stretched, we either defer the dream and go back to default settings or we jump. So I went to the bank. No, first I went online. I'm applying for credit cards. First of all, I filed for bankruptcy in 2014. Nobody can give me a credit card. I have no debt in the US. I have no debt at all. Okay. So I was applying for loans. No one will touch me. I walk into the bank and I say, hey guys, can I get a loan? And my bank gave me a loan for $25,000. I paid the coach and I was like, okay, I can exhale because I have some money to float me for a few months. But by God, when I paid that man $12,000 for those 8 weeks, I went to work. In 3 months, so 12 weeks from when I paid, I made $70,000.
Wow. So 3 months from after the coach's class, or
No, during.
No.
during the coach's class.
I started making money while with the coach in week 4.
Wow. You know,
And she still had another 4 weeks.
You know,
to go,
Jen
'cause she said
Mukami-
8 weeks, right?
yes,
Yeah.
there's so much, like we're trying to digest here.
I know.
Yeah. So first of all, I did not even know about the bankruptcy in 2014. I mean, I follow you. I may have missed that if you ever talked about it, but I did not know about the bankruptcy in 2014 because bankruptcy can be very, very destructive. I've never gone through one, but I've worked in the financial industry. And I know how destructive it can be. A lot of people never recover from that. Then you're talking about 2018, and you're saying you had, I don't know, 100 or 500 bucks in your account. And I'm like, in 2018, Jane Mukami was already a big deal. She was.
Of a big deal. A big deal. So let's break it down.
Yes.
I'm gonna take you back a little, if that's okay.
Yes, that's okay.
So we tracked pretty well. 2010 is when I hired the coach who kept me from having liposuction.
Okay.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
2011, I started bodybuilding. 2012, I'm still working corporate. I started fitkenyangirl.com, the blog. I'm still working corporate. 2013, I'm still working corporate. 2014 is when I took a break from corporate. I took a break in between gigs and decided I needed to do something different with my life. I was feeling very restless, like I'm not happy. Yes, I'm making good money, but I'm not happy. I want to do more fitness stuff. So I took a pause from my job for about a month and I made the decision, or the answer came to me, that I needed to focus on fitness. And if it didn't work out, I could go back and get a job. That's the year I sold. 2014, I made the decision to move back to Kenya in 2014. 2014 is the year I filed for bankruptcy. I had co-signed another ex-boyfriend's commercial lease.
Atiatia, tashokera.
Where?
Tell
Okay.
you, my downfall is the male species.
Hey.
Hey.
Wacha generalize this song.
Mulia-
Has been in
Muliambiwa
the
mwake
past,
mansi.
Yeah.
has been.
Yeah.
So anyway, I co-signed my ex-boyfriend's back then 3-year commercial lease.
Wow.
And we broke up before the lease was over, and he
Default.
exited. So who got sued?
You.
Me.
Wow. Okay.
So I'm going to court being asked to pay $88,000.
How? Mwadhani.
The only thing that saved me is when I was working in tech, I used to work on corp to corp. I think most of you know what that is.
Okay.
So the companies would pay my company and I would receive a W-2 from my company. So according on paper, on W-2, I was making 25 grand a year. So luckily, that is what, when I went to court, was, hey, I make 25 grand a year. You're trying to come at me for 80 something grand. And my attorney was like, you can file for bankruptcy or you can work out a deal where you pay out back this 88K slowly. And during this time, I'd already made up my mind I was moving back to Kenya. So guess what I said? Come on,
Bankruptcy
buy
it is.
at this one.
Bankruptcy.
Kaende.
Kaende.
Katambe.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I filed for bankruptcy and I was moving to Kenya the following year. I decided to keep my house, and out of nowhere, someone came and bought it off of me. So my house was good. And then I moved to Kenya in 2014. 2015 is the first year I released a digital product. It was a $10 ebook that made me a lot of money. And I started selling ebooks. So my brand was doing something, it was bubbling, but realized from 2010, I really hadn't made internet money until 2015 when I moved to Kenya.
Okay.
2015, 16, coming back to the US every 3-4 months to spend time with my brother. Then my brother's issues came up. I came back to the US 2016. We lost him in 2017. That's what made me come back and resettle without like knowing I was resettling back in the US. So when we laid my brother to rest in April 2017, I decided I'm going to stay here, see my therapist who's here in Georgia, and go back to Kenya at the end of the year. And while I'm doing that, I decided to get a contract to work back in tech. And I got a job opportunity with Coca-Cola, and I got an opportunity with the state. And because I knew I wanted to build my business, I said no to Coca-Cola, who was going to pay me about $120 an hour. And I took a job that was going to pay me $55 an hour because I needed time to work on my business. Okay.
Wow. Okay.
So I chose to take less money to get more time to try and grow my business. Yes, I'd been selling ebooks. I was working with people online, but it was, to me, small potatoes. In my mind, I knew I could see that there was so much potential in the online space. I just didn't have the tools. So living back in the US in 2017, as we all know, when you're in the US, the ads you see here are different than the ads we see in Kenya.
Yes.
So I started seeing ads and following more coaches who are teaching people how to do this social media thing. And I'm like, okay, I need to be here. I don't need to rush to Kenya because the moment I go back to Kenya, I'm locked out of this information. And I also was tired of being in Kenya because in Kenya, I felt like I'm like the big whale in a small fish pond. And I really hate that feeling. I like being a tadpole in an ocean. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so that's how it came to be that I stayed in 2017 and I told myself, okay, I'm giving myself 12 months. I'm going to quit my job and focus on the business. So fast forward to saving all the money, 2018, quitting my job, making a stupid decision, no money. I've taken a loan. Are we all caught up now?
Yes, there was a boyfriend and money, and he took it. Yes,
No-
we
no-
had that.
Now, Jane Mukami, this is so shocking, like, and I love this because we try to get, on the one mic show, we try to get people to have this background information that may not necessarily be available, like in short posts or in short videos. So I'm really glad you're talking about this and like just getting people to know you may be in a very bad place, but guess what? I came from a worse place. I personally have never filed for bankruptcy. And you're not only talking about bankruptcy, there's so many other things. You're talking about, loaning someone money and never getting it back, like being at $100 on your bank account.
250.
Kwani
Yes.
huko Georgia there is no Mungiki?
And by the way,
Yeah.
it's not once,
Yeah, it's not once.
twice loaning.
Yes, and I think
Once bitten, twice shy.
Yeah, and I think
This is
also
George Bush.
I think looking back at this, it's important to understand that had you not gone through these tragedies,
Kabisa.
maybe you would not be where you are.
Yes.
You'd be somewhere in a comfortable job, earning, like $100 per hour at Coca-Cola.
No.
Maybe
Get it
300,
right.
300,
120.
300.
Get
Oh,
it
120.
right. 120.
Should be at 250
Okay,
because
okay.
of experience.
Okay, because of experience, maybe.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
But much less money. But now you're talking of a very, very short time window. 7 years, 2018 to 2025, where all this magic happened to a point where you're like, I no longer have to, work for a living. I do not have to chase, all kinds of money that come my way.
Bad money.
So, and all these through coaching.